that awkward moment when you run into your teachers outside of school. And I've been graduated for like 8 months or something. Oh God. So I was coming home from work and I got off the train and went up the escalator, and then when I got off the escalator I saw my teacher in front of me. He's got like long hair, it's hard to miss. And he kind of turned his head around and I was like, wait, did he just see me? And then he like turns forward but turns again, like the double look, and then he was making eye contact with me, so I was like, oh hi. And this is a teacher I just had for one class, although actually that class spanned 2 quarters, so he wasn't one of my animation teachers, but I had him for a couple quarters at least. But anyways, so it's just kind of like, oh hey, and then the guy beside him turns his head around. It's another one of my teachers, and I'm just like, please God, no. Like, not that I don't like them, it's just awkward, and I'm terrible at conversation, and I just don't want to come off as awkward, but it was totally awkward. The whole situation was awkward. But the second teacher who turned around is actually my 2D animation teacher, and he was probably my #1 favorite instructor at the Art Institute, and so it was kind of nice seeing them, but at the same time really awkward. So we just had like a brief conversation about like what I'm doing these days, and then it was just kind of awkwardly ended. And then there was a goodbye, and it was like, glad that's over. That was really awkward, and I didn't like it at all. And I was reading YouTube comments on the train ride back, and someone asked if we ever got the umbrella back. I didn't update on that yesterday, but no, Christian didn't go to Staples yesterday. I thought he was going to, but I guess he didn't, or he thought Staples was closed, and I was like, no, they're open till like 9. Why would they be closed at 7? Anyways. So I don't know, I was bugging him about it, so we'll see if he actually went back to Staples to see if it was there, because I mean, it could be that it's in the lost and found there, if they have one, or it could be that another customer saw it sitting on the shelf and just took it. They're like, sweet, umbrella. So I'm kind of hoping I get it back, but it's not that big of a deal. I just thought it'd be cool if we did find it, like, yes, victory, we found our thing, but we'll see. I don't want to pester him about it, so if he doesn't bring it up when he gets home, I'm going to assume that that means he didn't go looking for it. Something I forgot to mention in yesterday's vlog is that yesterday I got an email from 6 Cent Press. Well, first it was someone's name as the sender of the email. I'm like, who the hell is this? Like, I was opening the email so confused, then I realized it was from 6 Cent Press. I guess some customer left a review, because I guess they do these follow-up emails to see how your purchase and everything was and make sure you're satisfied with your product. And so someone wrote back saying that like it was a good review and that they were referred to by my videos. And so, I mean, 6 Cent Press already knows that I have that video up, because last time I ordered buttons, I went in and picked them up and they're like, oh, are you Baylee Creations? Because they saw the name, like, they saw the name Baylee on the package, and I was like, oh yeah, and so they already know who I am, and they said that they had my button video up on their blog or something to show people how to make buttons, so they already know about my existence. And so I just got an email from them being like as a thanks, I guess, for having that video, they gave me this code to get 10% off. So I'm like, yes. And that's not to like spread to you guys, I don't think. I think that was just for me, so I'm not going to share the code and get in trouble. But they gave me a 10% off code as like a thank you. And so that's perfect timing, because I want to buy more buttons. I've said this recently in my vlogs. I want to buy some hopefully within the next month. So that code came at a perfect time, so now I can order more buttons and get 10% off. That'll save me like 20 bucks, because it costs me like $200 for 2,000 buttons, I think. I think it's like 180 for 2,000. So that'll save me a bit of money. We probably were like $18 then, but yay, thank you, 6 Cent Press. They're probably not watching this, but I'm just gonna say thank you anyway. So on the menu is spaghetti. I know we just had that within the last week or so, but we had more ground beef to use up, so it's pretty much spaghetti again or burgers again. And I bought some noodles with the intent of making spaghetti, so that's what I am making. Here is a shot of the sauce. Oh yes. And since we do have some burger buns left, I'm going to be using these to make our garlic toast. The noodles are ready, so I was in such a haste to get the freaking buns in there that I ended up dropping one down the crack. But I'm like, whatever, I'll still eat that. Just find a way to fish it out without having to pull out the fridge. It's no big deal. I sweep back there. Oh, this is a bit of a challenge. Ew, maybe this won't be any good anymore. it still looks clean. It's good, it's good. I don't like to waste food when I don't have to. So Christian better get here quickly because supper's ready, and he usually gets home right about this time, so it could be like any second now he walks through the door. We also got this fancy looking letter in the mail, and I'm really curious as to what it is. Like, is this a wedding invitation? But then whose wedding is it? It's hard to keep track of who's all getting married. But I don't know. I'm just going to wait for him to get here, though, because it's addressed to both of us. So I'm going to wait for him before I open it. Damn toaster. We need a new one. First of all, we need one with 4 slots. Second of all, this one pops back up unless you hold it. Once you hold it for maybe like 30 seconds or 20 seconds, it'll stay. But you just have to hold it for the first while. It never used to do this. This is just a recent thing in the last few weeks, so it's getting old. The spaghetti is a little more liquidy than usual, but this is actually good because if it's not this liquidy, when you have leftovers the next day, it's super dry. Like, oh, it's not even sauce. It's just orange meat, basically. So hopefully because it's more saucy, it'll be better tomorrow. I'm trying to think of why Christian's a little bit later than usual. I was like, well, maybe he made a sale, so he had to stay late. And then I realized the umbrella thing. He probably made a little detour to Staples to see if the umbrella's there. So it's 7:15. He's usually home like 7:05. Do I eat? Do I not eat? The bread's warm, the food's warm. Yeah, the noodles are still warm, surprisingly. So this morning when I was getting ready to get into the shower, I was hearing weird noises outside the door. It almost sounded like Christian left the bedroom and closed the door, but it didn't latch. You know, there's just that sound of the door closing but not latching. Just makes that like thunk sound. It was some kind of noise similar to that. And so I like got out of the shower. Like, I was just getting into the shower, so I leaned out of the shower, opened the bathroom door. I'm looking out. I'm like, okay, there's no one there. And then I heard another sound during my shower and like whipped the shower curtain open and was like, no one's there. It was like I was kind of freaking myself out. And then I came out into the kitchen later to get some breakfast and pack my lunch, and the oven light was on. And we haven't used the oven in a long time. Like, it's probably been at least a whole week since we actually made something in the oven. And so I'm like, that light was not on before, otherwise I would have noticed it anytime I came into the kitchen when the lights were off. I would have seen the light coming out of the oven. So that was just really weird because the switch was flicked, and that kind of freaked me out. So it is 7:22 and I'm gonna eat because I'm starving. Sorry, Christian. It's Christian!
Hola!
I just sat down and took like 2 bites.
Nice.
I
Have a
couldn't
little
wait.
later.
What?
Sale today, so I had to fill out an app.
Nice! High five.
$200 commission.
Ooh.
It's a small one. $200? No, that's small.
Yay! There's spaghetti things on the stove.
Lovely.
Yeah. So I was correct in thinking it was a wedding invitation. It's for my stepbrother's wedding, which I didn't know about until like 2 weeks ago or a week and a half ago when my sister mentioned it, because it's 2 weeks after the family reunion I'm going to, and both those events are in Saskatchewan, the wedding and the reunion, and I can't go to both, and I can't take off like 3 weeks off work just to go to both. And so like I've already said to a bunch of people I'm going to the reunion, and so now it's like, oh, what about this wedding? Well, I can't go to both, and I already made plans to go to my family reunion, so that's probably what I'm going to do, is go to the family reunion, because it's a choice between a bunch of relatives I'm really close to that I don't get to see very often, or a stepbrother that I also don't see very often, but like we never talk or anything, like we're not close at all. So it's kind of like I'm probably just going to choose to visit my dad and like my cousins and stuff and people I haven't seen in a long time. So I'm not going to pull everything out, but look how fancy this is. It was so thick. I was like, is this a wedding invitation? The envelope is so darn thick. It's got this awesome sparkly kind of thick paper inside. I'm definitely going to keep this and try to use it for some kind of artistic purpose. So it covers the entire inside on that half of the envelope. And then more sparkles. Like, what? That is a gorgeous invitation. it makes me feel guilty that I most likely will not be able to go. So it's got the invitation, RSVP card for the reception, a little business card, sized card. So fancy. Oh my god. Well, look at that. You go to open it, it's like, okay, gray envelope. Kapow! Blingy and gorgeous. So, I just wanted to talk a little bit more about HitRecord on TV. All the episodes have aired, although I've only seen the first episode because they just didn't release it in any countries other than the US. They're working on international distribution, but right now you can only get it on Amazon and iTunes if you live in the US. So that's kind of poopy. But, anyways, I'll eventually see the episodes. The point of this is, okay, I've mentioned in the past my little emo-looking characters that I drew. I did these character designs for this animated short, and they ended up using my designs, so I got paid for that. And that design was actually the one I made the most money on out of all the stuff of mine that was used in the various episodes, because I've had some other art used, and I've had footage that I recorded at the Orpheum Theater in Los Angeles. Some of that got used, and I got paid decently for that. But the Glooms artwork was my highest earning drawing that I did, or highest earning asset, whatever you want to call it. And so I just got an email saying they've released the profit proposals for marketing purposes. I wasn't expecting any more emails because they've already put forward all the profit proposals for each episode, but I guess there's one for marketing, which is like posters, bus wrap signs. Hold on, I'm trying to get the strap off my hand. Just any kind of promotional material, billboards, etc., because they use those same Glooms characters in the posters and stuff. I've seen it on the website, and they weren't included in every single promotional piece, but for most of the time they were. And so I looked at the list. Well, okay, there was 2 sections. I didn't realize there's 2 sections, so when I checked it earlier, I think it was when I was at work or something during my lunch break, I checked it, and it said I'd made like $7, and I was like, oh, okay, that's less than I was hoping, but everyone on the list made low amounts, so I was like, hey, whatever, that's weird that it was so low. But then I was just on HitRecord scrolling right now, and I saw another section that I didn't see before, and on my Glooms drawing, I made $280 just on the marketing, just for the marketing section. That doesn't include the animated short. Just for marketing, I made $280 on that drawing, plus the $7 randomly, whatever that's, yeah. So those Glooms character designs ended up being my highest earners. They were already my highest earners, and then I just made even more than I previously earned on them. So I was like, that's quite a bit of money coming from just these quick drawings I did. But at the same time, that's the whole thing about HitRecord, is you make a lot of stuff, but not everything is going to get used. Only a small portion of the stuff you make is going to get used, if any. And so, thankfully, that drawing was picked to be in the short, and therefore was also in the promotional material, and I ended up making a lot of money off of it. I mean, I put several hours into other records and animations, drawings, anything. Like, I put so many hours into different projects, so it was cool. It's cool to, like, get some kind of recognition or, like, some kind of compensation for putting all that time in and stuff. So definitely motivating me to be more active on that website, especially now that season 1 is wrapped and they're starting new collaborations, and we're going to start working on season 2. So it's like, I just feel like I'm so busy all the time, though. Like, I don't have time for everything. But I want to do more stuff on HitRecord, especially animations, because there's always a lack of animations, but that's because, one, not many people know how to do animations, but people could even do simple ones. Even if they have no animation experience, they could still do it. But it also just takes a lot of time. Animation takes forever to do, and that's why it's like, oh, I want to contribute more to the website, but, like, do I have the time? Do I? So, turns out Christian's not going to be here tomorrow evening because he's doing kind of like a team building hangout session with his coworkers, and so he said they're most likely going to go to the trampoline park, which I'm so jealous of because I've been talking about it lately a lot. Not recently, but I mean ever since I found out about it, I've been mentioning it now and again, like, we need to go to this trampoline park, Christian. And it's just really far away, so we haven't gone to it yet. But I found out him and his coworkers are most likely going there tomorrow, and I'm so jealous. So jealous! Oh, he'll have to tell me if it's good or not. I've always wanted to go to a trampoline park ever since I saw other YouTubers go to them. I'm like, I need to go to one of those. It looks so fun. Anyways, where I was getting at with this was that Christian won't be here, so I think it's a perfect time for me to film a tutorial video for my Baylee Creations channel, and I know which one I want to do next, but I haven't prepped it, so I'm like, crap, I gotta, it's 9:15, so maybe if I just start editing this vlog a little bit early while it's exporting and everything, I can start doing sketches, like planning out exactly what I'm gonna do in the video and stuff, and then tomorrow after work, I can film it, because it's so hard to do videos now that Christian's here, because he's always either playing a video game or watching something on Netflix, and I never have peace and quiet, and so it'll be kind of nice. Also, back to HitRecord, all this money I'm making, all this money, it's not really that much in total, but the money that I'm making from HitRecord, I'm not actually going to get that money probably for like at least another year, because they just said that the checks for 2013 are supposed to arrive by June to people, and technically, even though I made all my stuff in 2013, HitRecord on TV aired in 2014, so it's a 2014 production, so I won't get the money for it until 2015, so it's like, I gotta wait a long time before I ever see that money. I always have to harass Christian to put away the food. He just leaves it sitting out, and it's getting all crusty. It's 9:15. It's 9:15! Hi. Alrighty then, I guess that is the end of today's vlog. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you tomorrow. So I'm just editing the vlog right now. Alright, that's great. I bought 2. Now why would I do that? But the reason I bought the Frozen Blu-rays the first day they were released is not just because I wanted to own it right away, it's because they're always on sale for the first week that they're released. And I was considering pre-ordering from the Disney